brewers, and welcome to my channel. So today is the part 2 of the No Fuss strawberry wine that we started actually under a month ago. So the weather has been warmer, so it has fermented quicker, and we're going to bottle it up. Awesome. So I have myself some strawberry wine. This is the original strawberry wine because, well, you've got to drink strawberry wine when you're making strawberry wine. Still tastes good. So, what I went ahead, I've taken a measurement, and we've actually got a final gravity reading of 990, which just put a little clip there, and it's ready. I mean, it's ready to be bottled. Now, a lot of videos tell you need to store it for months, which is true. Aging does make it better, but you can cheat, and we're going to be doing a bit of cheating. I like cheating. I've just finished sterilizing my bottles. My worktop has been sterilized with bleach, my tube has been sterilized, my funnel, and I'm also going to be using just a simple sieve. Now you can use the tights or whatever you want really, as long as it's kind of a fine mesh. Now this is because the inside of the bucket, once I open it up, which you can't see, so I'll put a little clip of what it looks like. It's kind of bitty in there, and that's because all the strawberries in there. So I'm going to be cheating today and making my life simple. I've got myself just a bit of 925 silver, which I know isn't exactly easy to get hold of for some of you, but you can use stainless steel or even a slither of bamboo. This keeps it straight and it stays in there, which is handy. So in it goes. I'm going to keep it somewhere around there, and then, if I can cheat, bend and peg that bad boy. Now that's in place. Now, now that's not in place. Ah! There we go. Found the right place. That's just to hold it while I set up my siphon. Looks pretty good. So what I'm going to be doing is I've got my funnel and I've got my sieve to take out the big chunks. And now I'm just going to go ahead, make my siphon, just a little, and stop, and then raise it lower, and there we go. So I'm going to go and fill up these 6 bottles, and I'll see you when I'm done. So, funny story, I finished bottling, and I still had more liquid left. Now, I only made a cheeky another bottle on top of my other bottles here, but I could have easily got another bottle out of there, and possibly another one which would have been quite grubby and sedimentary. But yeah, so I think I messed up in the math somewhere, but never mind, we're going to carry on. But apart from that little mistake, let's get back to it. So I didn't degas my wine. Now, it does have a little bit of strawberry pulp in there. I could have used a finer grade mesh. My bad. And it's not perfectly clear, but that again could be due to me knocking the fermenter a little bit. Oh well, never mind. But we need to degas this wine so we can continue. Now, I don't degas my wine before I bottle. I actually degas my wine in the bottle. Now I do this because I don't use preservatives, the Camden tablets or the stabilizer. I don't like the taste. It just doesn't work for me. So instead, I degas in the bottle. That way, my wine is preserved in a CO2-rich atmosphere. Give it a good shake. Plus, it's fun. And then all I've got to do is, and I'll just do this a couple of times. And he degasses the wine pretty well, while leaving it in a protective atmosphere so it doesn't get oxidized, even though a little bit of oxygen in wine is good. And it works. I mean, I end up with wine that I can keep for years, so it's obviously doing its job. La, 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 la. Fizzy. I'm just going to go ahead and do this while we skip ahead. So apart from I messed up my own recipe, which is funny in itself, a couple of times in fact, we're now ready to proceed with this part. Oh well, live and learn. I'm just going to have to be more careful with my measurements when I am making a batch in a bigger container. So, our wine has been mostly degassed, and this is the old stuff, so might as well drink it. And it's not bad. So now we've got this stuff to play with. So, if you're going to drink this straight away, relatively straight away, within a few days, what you can do, which I'm going to do now, see, I'm just going to pour a bit because I'm going to be using this. It has a nice colour. As you can see, it would have been darker if I hadn't got the extra, basically 3 bottles worth. Whoops. You see, it's got that fresh smell, so let's try it. See, strawberries when they're dry don't have that sweet taste that you'd expect. Now this is a very, very dry wine, finished at 9.90. So what you can do is you can either use sweetener if you're planning on storing it at room temperature, or if you're storing it in the fridge, which I would suggest, you can actually use sugar, which is what I'm going to be using for this. So this bottle I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons worth of sugar, which is 4 of these bad boys. Round 4. Put the lid back on, and let's give it another shake. Now this will also mix in the sugar, which we've added in, and degas it some more. Ooh, see? Sugar acts as a degassing agent, so... keep going a little to see what it's like. Now what we're doing is adding the sweetness back to bring out the flavour of the strawberry, otherwise it tastes like alcohol, and what strawberries would taste like if they weren't sweet. See, we're getting there. So I'm going to add in another 2 teaspoons. Here we go. It's nice. Back to shaking this puppy up. Finished shaking up my other 2 sugars, so that brings us up to 4 sugars. And it's all dissolved in, so let's give this a taste to see how it is. Now I'm just doing a test on 1 bottle, that way I know how much to put in the rest of the bottles. In my case, these are the 2 bottles. Those 4 have another use. So again, that kind of dry strawberry is starting to dissipate. See, it's becoming more smooth already. So I think we're about halfway there, so I'm going to jump ahead and I'm going to put 4 teaspoons in it. So that brings it up to 8 teaspoons of sugar, actual sugar. So just so you can see, 2 is 1, 1, and 4. Just shows you just how sweet strawberries are. Well, when you ferment them. So again, I'm going to shake this like a Polaroid picture, I guess. So we have a total of 8 sugars in this puppy of real whole grain sugar. So we should be somewhere in the ballpark where this is actually nice to drink. So smells more like strawberry now, as opposed to as it did before. So cheers. Actually, that's pretty damn close. That's actually pretty damn close to being a strawberry wine. It's quite nice, actually. It's lost its alcohol twang, and it kind of tastes like a strawberry squash. It's quite nice. Anyway, so we're really, really close, so let's just round this up to 10. The joys. 1. I hope that I made more wine than I was supposed to. It's doesn't quite have the same strawberry flavour as it should have. Funny that, because I made an extra, what could be possibly up to 3 bottles more. So, my bad. But at the same time, it will do. If you're making strawberry wine, which you are, sometimes you make mistakes. Don't know how I managed to make extra bottles, but I did. Right. Definitely degassing. So let's try this now. Now it doesn't smell it doesn't smell like alcohol. It's got a slight alcohol twang to it. So let's taste it now. Oh, that's the sweet spot. Still got a slight zingy aftertaste. That's slightly to do with a little bit of CO2 in here. And also it's going to take about 24 hours for this to mellow out and for the sugar to properly infuse. Now if I was using sweetener, my lovely granulated sweetener, obviously I wouldn't have to keep this chilled in the fridge, but there's only so much sweetener you can add in before you start getting any kind of sweetener aftertaste. And since we want to make this fresh and easy to drink straight away, almost straight away, that's very pleasant. I'm using real sugar and I'm going to be chilling it in my fridge. Now if you don't keep this chilled, it will start to ferment. Wine bottles are not meant to be pressurized, so yeah, the lids will pop off and bad things will happen, so don't do that. This is purely for making a quick, easy drinking, no fuss strawberry wine. That's what we've created. So, while it wasn't my plan to make a weaker version of my strawberry wine, it kind of goes hand in hand with one of the videos that are coming up, which is pretty cool. Inadvertently, I've managed to do it. So these bottles of wine need 10 sugars in total. So I'm going to go ahead and add in the 10 sugars straight away. So I'll be back once I've done that. So I've added my sugar into these 2 bottles, which I will shake up at my leisure later on. Do it carefully. It does displace a bit of the liquid, so I could fill up this bottle again and then pour some out, because, well, it's good to drink now. A taste of strawberry, it's got a bit of alcohol. It is very, very pleasant. Now you must keep these in the fridge. Now it has to be a cold fridge, less than about 5 degrees, otherwise it will slowly ferment. I happen to have a fridge just for brewing alcohol, which, you know, as everyone does. And I store these in here because I'll be drinking this in about 2 weeks' time with a friend of mine who really likes fruit wine. So instead of having no fruit wine, which is this stuff which hasn't been sweetened, we're going to have this stuff to drink, which is sweetened strawberry wine. Tastes nice. The sugars will infuse, if you will, and impart in body. And it will be even better to drink in about a week's time. Takes at least 24 hours for the sugars to start properly working their way in. Awesome. So since I did mess up and made a lot more bottles of wine than I should have, basically these 4 bottles are for another video, which I had planned anyway, but since I accidentally made too much, it works out for me even better. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Don't forget to comment, rate, like, share, and of course subscribe. Check out the other videos, and yeah, I will see you in the next one. I'm gonna finish my little bit of strawberry wine. Cheers.